How's everyone doing? It's been a while. Alright. How's everyone doing? I'm back. It's been a long time. I wanted to do this because, as I said in my post, if those who are watching and watching my videos recently, I finally finished my room. I really want to kind of do something a bit different. I want people to kind of ask me questions. I mean, I hope everyone's doing good, but in the musicians community at the moment, I mean, gigs are getting cancelled again. Things are going, obviously the whole situation in Hong Kong is kind of not as stable as it was for the last month. And yeah, so I want to try and help musicians and people who want to do online teaching or people who want to do live streams. I want to help out people who are in a tricky situation, and I've been very fortunate how I have a lot of really supportive people around me, a lot of really supportive friends and clients and new students and everything you can imagine. I've been so fortunate. So if you're interested in learning anything about live streaming or online teaching, please feel free to put it in the comments or in the chat box or anything. And as long as hopefully I see something, then I'll try to answer it here on this platform. But yeah, I thought, it's been a while. I can't just only answer questions. I've got to play some music. Otherwise, why is everyone here? So I'm also taking requests. I'm just, throw everything you want at me. I'm a request guy, I'm just here to have fun. What am I going to start with? Okay, I was literally just teaching this song to one of my good friends and students. It's a song called In a Sentimental Mood. It's a really, really beautiful song. Music up because I don't want to screw up the melody. Alright. Sentimental. Okay. Feeling sentimental. Alright, let's do this. Man, I haven't played. Whoop. Man, I haven't played that song in a long time. Let me see. How are you streaming? Ah, okay. Awesome. Okay, question. Aaron, my good friend, very, very good DJ and producer guy. We went to school together. I think we were like 5. I think we knew each other since we were like 5 years old. Yeah, man, it's been a long time. So he asked the question, how are you streaming the audio? Is it from the mic capture or is it going through the interface in the computer? So the answer to that is I'm using this program called Voice Meter Banana. And the way that this works is that the keyboard goes into the interface, and then from the interface it goes to the speakers, etc., and also into the computer. But in order for me to get multiple inputs, including a microphone and the piano, usually when you just use an interface, it'll only take up one channel. And that was exactly the problem that I had. It was like I could plug both things in because I have a 6-channel interface, but then I couldn't get most programs to accept more than one input or more than one output. So I was basically either I was going to get the microphone or I was only going to get the piano. So I had to download this program called Voice Meter Banana, which is basically a virtual mixer. And then once I got the virtual mixer, it kind of made it open a lot more because then I could use pretty much most of my my interface. For Mac, for Mac users out there, there used to be Soundflower, but there's another app, if I'm not mistaken, called Loopback, or one of these kind of apps. Basically act as a virtual mixer, and that's what you need in order to really take full power of your interface. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Scarlett 2i2, I think they have a program built in for this, but at least the one that I have, I'm using a Steinberg UR44. It doesn't have that, so I had to figure out another solution. Hey, Jill, how are you? My cousin from Philippines. So I'm using a program called OBS, Streamlabs OBS. I actually use 2 programs. I use Streamlabs OBS for my live stream, but then I use OBS, the original OBS, for my online teaching. So with Streamlabs OBS, the great thing is with the up-to-date version, you can get both, you can stream both on Facebook and YouTube for free. So that's why I'm using this software, because it's one of the only ones where I can pretty much just broadcast whatever I want out. And as well as that, there are some plugins that you can use for Instagram, which are great. So yeah, I mean, I'm still expanding how I think about my online stuff, but it's pretty interesting. All right. Hold on, I got a couple more questions here before I play some more music. How's everybody doing? I see Jackie, LJ, Net. Yeah, we got quite a few people tuning in. Awesome. Okay. Let me just check again. So I got a question from my good friend Gerhard. How do I teach online? So with the online teaching, it's basically the way I set it up is I have it really based around kind of exactly like I do live streaming. So with my live streaming, I have quite a few different angles. So here I have face-to-face. I think with online teaching, this is super important. You need to have a really good face cam. The other one I have is a top-down cam, like this. This extra keyboard bit that I added right here is kind of a recent addition. It's not the most essential, but you need to have a good top-down view, especially of your piano. It doesn't have to be like this. You could do it like this, which is a side view, or at least put it a little bit further back so that you can kind of see everything a bit better. But the whole important thing is there needs to be a really good wave for here, and in order to at least show what you're doing. One big tip for me is that you want to make any of the live streams for education, you want to make it as personal as possible. So with a lot of teachers that are doing stuff online, they'll kind of only go for this angle and at the back, which is really, it doesn't make you feel like you're in a class, and I really don't like that. I think it's you've got to have this kind of personal interaction with people, just like a live stream. And I think when you have that, it makes people feel like, oh, I'm actually having a lesson, rather than watching a YouTube tutorial. If I just only had this angle without my face here, which I can get rid of, if I just had this, I don't think people would be really keen on watching a video. It's like you need that personal interaction, and that's how I would explain this. All right. For those who came in late, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm just gonna play some music in between. Otherwise, people who are here to listen to music will be irritated at me. They'll be like, "Hey, Chris, we really like your information, but can you just shut up for a while?" Okay. I don't know what I want to play. Every time I play in the Grand Hyatt before, this would always be my warm-up song. It's a really nice old school tune. It's called Moon Glow. Okay, I'm stupid. I forgot to turn on my mic again. So, the last song that I played was what do you call it? The first song that I played was called "In a Sentimental Mood," and the last song was "Moonglow." So to answer my friend Aaron's question, he was asking me how I got these made, and long story short, as I was kind of mumbling on my own for a second, Jezreel came to my house and we were discussing about how to fix some problems in my room, particularly with this particular A. And this was a very, very frustrating story that led me down a deep and dark path of frustration because we basically went and got all these panels made and it ended up not fixing the problem. So we had to buy this thing called a graphic EQ. Let me see if I can get this on the screen here because I think you guys should see this. It's quite funny. So I got this giant graphic EQ which controls all the different frequencies because we discovered that this one note is the only thing that is kind of frustrating. And so I had to fix this particular problem. So I basically went through a lot of things and I bought this particular graphic EQ. And if you have a look at the way that I set it up, it's just very funny. I want to show you guys. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let me put this up on the screen. Can I? Yeah, I think I can. Oh, nope. Oh, I should have set this up earlier. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna sit here and talk and multitask at the same time. Okay, so yeah, basically I had to set up this thing, and it was like a really, really big frustrating thing. And hold on, let me get this thing. Notes. There we go. And then open source. Okay, about to get there. About to get there. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten about you guys. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Done. And let me see. Transition. Okay, cool. So this is the graphic EQ that I bought. And to zoom in on this, let's have a look. So I had to buy this huge thing to solve one problem. Now, if you have a look very, very carefully, you can see right in the middle, there's only one thing that's been adjusted. And that is exactly this frequency. So once I kind of fixed that problem, I felt a lot better. And now my room is complete. It took me that long to figure it out. There was a whole lot of other drama, like the panel's not getting made in on time, and I wasn't able to teach in the room for a while, or not able to do live streams, and all of that. So that's all solved now. I'm very happy about that. And yeah. Okay, what other questions do we have? Okay, one question. I have a private message. Let me choose one. Okay, so for people who know me and know that I love my grand pianos, my personal favorite is a Bosendorfer. Bosendorfers are a Austrian-made grand piano. They are phenomenal. If you go to the Grand Hyatt, they have one. Mr. Jezreel Lucero, my very good friend, plays there. I used to play there for 8 years, and a couple of years ago, I think it was about 3 years ago, when they closed the Tiffin Lounge, Jezreel and I went and actually found them a new piano to buy. And the difference with Bosendorfer is just got a very, very rich, warm tone. You can't really beat it, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, there are great Steinways, there's great Faziolis, there's a couple of really good pianos that I played that are not Bosendorfers, but my personal opinion, I really love Bosendorfer personally. You guys? Jonathan, it's very true. I have to say the Nord stage, I'm not a Nord guy, but I do like the Nord stage. I mean, I did try it a little bit. It is pretty great. Not to say that I'm a big Nord lover personally, but yeah, it's something different. And also the price, if you look at it, it's like 30 grand. Oh my god. I'm not going to buy a piano like that. I'm very happy with my keyboard now. I love my Yamaha. So for those who don't know, I'm using a Yamaha CP4. You can find these in a lot of venues, especially the venues that I used to play in. Yeah, I love this piano. I mean, this piano is like a really great stage piano. If you're looking for a professional grade stage piano, I highly recommend this piano, personally. There are a lot of other things. Like, if people are looking to if there's anybody here who wants to buy a piano for fun and that kind of thing, let me know. I do quite a lot of research on this kind of thing. I like to help my students, I like to help my friends to buy pianos. There's a lot of great pianos out there. There's a lot of not so great ones. Just depends on what you're into. Feel free to message me. All right. For those who came late to the party, we're doing a question and answer session. But at the same, if you want to ask me any questions about my live stream setup, if you want to ask me any questions about how I do my online teaching, how to have lessons, how to kind of have that face-to-face, or how to have that experience, send me a message. Put it in the comments. I'm pretty much reading everything out that people are asking me. And if you have also, for those who are just listening to music, if you have requests, please send it to me. Try to do my best. Basically, try not to screw it up, but hopefully not. Whew. So that song's called Norwegian Wood. It's actually a Beatles song. Overhead shot. It's using a GoPro. Oh, really? Oh, is my keyboard out of frame? Really? That's super weird. Looks pretty okay for me. Oh, I got a request for a Blue Bossa. Haven't played that in a while. Oh, I get what you're talking about. Okay, so Jill is asking, how do I set up my camera for the keyboard? Because you can't see it in the multiple views. This is actually a really good question. Sorry, it just took me a while to like... It's been a long day. Okay, I'm going to show you this on my other camera. Okay, I'm going to show you from here. So this is kind of the easy way for me to explain this to you guys. So if you look right here, I actually have a big stand that connects all the way from the floor up to here, up to my computer, and sorry, up to my above my keyboard and with the GoPro. So this was actually another very frustrating thing that I didn't really discover until I started doing online streaming. So if you look back to some of my videos when I was doing a live stream with with my mom and with the Carpu brothers and our group, I was having a lot of frustration because like what the issue was that whenever I put stuff on the table, because my keyboard and my table are connected, so whenever I put anything camera related on the table, it would shake like crazy. So I was trying to come up with multiple solutions. The very first time when I did when I was doing some stuff with online teaching, I used to have a tripod that sat right here in front of the monitor, and it drove me crazy because it's just like I have to keep like looking like this. I kind of hurt my back. Well, I didn't hurt my back, but I just like got a really tight back from like constantly moving around. So I was trying to come up with multiple solutions. So I bought one of those arms that clip onto the table. But then I realized it's the same problem because no matter what I put on the table, it's going to shake. So there's a couple of really stupid / funny things that I did with the whole setup. One, this is not the stupid one, with the camera above for the GoPro. What I actually did is I bought a microphone stand and then I bought a whole bunch of different adapters to make it adjust for that. So that it can be long enough to see the piano, but most importantly, so that it doesn't touch the table. This is number one. I mean, to do online teaching, this is not the most important thing, and a lot of people won't have a table like this, but it's like for me, because I had this particular problem, I couldn't let anything touch the table. And that was actually the same thing when we did the live stream, because I had most cameras on the table while we were playing. So as I get too excited and play, it's like the whole table will shake and every camera will shake. So with this camera that I'm looking at here, this is a March COVID-19 Hong Kong special. So I kind of freaked out when COVID-19 got a bit crazy at the beginning of March, and I bought so much gym gear. I like basically bought a whole gym at home. Except me being the not lightest person and not wanting to drill in a hard pull-up bar, I had a spare pull-up bar at home. So I have a window right behind here, and I actually just put the pull-up bar in the window frame. And then that, in its own way, became this new stable thing. So both of this camera and this camera here are both attached to that pull-up bar. So no matter what I do, it doesn't do anything. So it's independent from the table. And that's another important thing when you're doing live streaming. It's like, if you've got stuff that's connected to a table that it's a bit shaky, I think you got to be very aware of that, because if you can kind of stay away from those kind of problems, it'll make everything so much better. That and lighting. Like, lighting has been like the biggest thing for me recently. It's like, once you realize about lighting, it kind of changes your whole perspective. And yeah, it was awesome. Okay, I'm gonna get back to playing. I'm gonna play a song called Blue Bossa as requested. If you guys have any requests, let me know. If you guys have any questions, let me know too. If you want to follow what I'm doing, you can go on my Facebook page, Chris Carpio Music. For most of you, you've already seen it there. If you haven't liked or followed my page, please do so. You can also find me on Instagram, Chris Carpio Music, or you can also find me on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, please. I'm gonna start doing a lot more content now that my room is done, and I'm gonna try and hopefully move into more educational things like simplified improvisation, how to approach looking at chords, how I approach looking at things, and yeah, I'm just gonna explore this whole new online platform. For those out there, please, for those of you out there, please send me some questions, and hopefully, if I can answer them, I will. Just let me know. Look to the sky. Thank you, Richard. You want me to look this way? Is that okay? Let me give this a try. was interesting. Hey guys, send your new requests. Come on. I've been waiting. I'm waiting for your requests. Okay, two good ones. Brian, I accidentally put the camera at this angle. The mirror was not intentional. And looking up. You mean the Michelle Petrucciani song? Oh my god. Oh, I like that song. Basically, Richard was asking me to play a song called Looking Up, which is by Michelle Petrucciani. And he called it at first Look Up to the Sky. So I was like, hello. But I get it now. Don't worry. I got your back. Man, I haven't played this song in a long time. Okay, let me put this out. Looking up. Here we go. If for those of you who don't know who Michelle Petrucciani is, I would highly recommend you go listen to him. He is a phenomenal piano player. The basically best way to describe him, he was like a condensed man. I don't want to say he was like a midget or a dwarf or something, because he had from my understanding, he had a normal handspan. He was just really compressed. But his music is phenomenal. And he died at 40, and what he achieved in his lifetime is like basically, that's like my dream. Except like, I preferably don't want to die at 40. But if that's what it takes, you know, maybe that's what it is. But it's like, he was phenomenal, and his music is great. I can't recommend it enough. It's like, when I listen to his music, I went through a period where I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing. I wasn't enjoying music, and I listened to his music, and just knowing his story, and it really inspired me. So if people who are interested in checking him out, I highly recommend it. He's phenomenal. You'll thank me later. Alright, let's give this a try. I haven't played this in like a couple of, maybe a year or two, maybe. Song is super relaxed. Yeah, okay. So you make sure everything's right. There we go. Pew, 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 pew. I'm gonna start that again because I don't like it. Take two. Wait. Take two. next time I need to practice more. I need to practice my old songs. It's been a while. Been too busy teaching. You like the transitions, Brian? You want me to transition more for you? Stay tuned. We'll transition more. Okay. What other questions do we have? Okay, I got quite an interesting question, private message to me. What is the difference between pop music and jazz? Okay, this is a tricky one because when you look at music history, you kind of forget that jazz was the popular music of its era, just like classical used to be the popular music of its era. So when you put that into consideration, jazz was pop music, right? And then the other thing is that you have so many styles and genres that are influenced by jazz that are not called jazz. Like R&B is a direct influence of jazz. Generally, that's what I would say. Well, actually that's not fair to say. It's also, you got to include like rhythm and blues. Like modern R&B and rhythm and blues are quite different, right? Even though it's technically means the same thing. So to kind of summarize it in a more simplistic way, jazz has just become a period of the past, which is now, people are always trying to modernize jazz, trying to create modern jazz, jazz hip hop, jazz funk. And then popular music is just basically the pop music of now. If we're talking musically, what's the difference? Well, modern pop music and in general pop music is all about catchy hooks, simple melodies, things that people can kind of click. As for jazz, it's kind of, it's got a bit more punch to it. It's got a little bit more harmonics understanding. But that's not to say that all popular music has no harmonic understanding. I think it just really depends on who's the artist. Like there are always artists that are pushing out of the boundary. I mean, I don't want to go and say Jacob Collier is like pop music, but he's in popular charts. People are starting to know who he is. You compare him, and then you've got like Bruno Mars is bringing a lot of the 80s and 70s approach back. Motown is trying to bring a lot of that kind of vibe back, and that has a lot of like influence in the jazz world too, or vice versa. So I think the main thing is just if you're comparing modern music, like modern pop, to jazz, it's really it's just creating melodies and things that people can really pick up on. Like even if you think about traditional jazz like Fly Me to the Moon, it's not a complicated melody. It's not a complicated set of progressions. It's a pretty straightforward song. Why do people remember it? Because it's simple. It's easy to remember. What a Wonderful World, simple song to remember. Autumn Leaves, simple song to remember. It's like sometimes I feel like with jazz, people are trying to make things so complex and so complicated that it's like you lose the essence of songwriting. And you lose the essence of trying to create those hooks and trying to create those kind of different movements that are interesting and that people can remember. I think that's always an important part of songwriting, or it's an important part of music that should never be overlooked. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. It is the late night thoughts of a Hong Kong musician with an S, which I don't know why I put an S, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit more. I'll give maybe 2 songs. If anybody has a special request, I'm more than happy to take your requests. Do I need to pose for my request? Brian, if you want to see some camera angles, do I need to pose for my requests? Is that for you, Brian? Okay, let me have a look. That one's for you, Brian. No, I can't play Swahili, man. Man, I haven't played that in a while. There's also Colors of the Wind. Good old classic. Okay. Last few quick fire questions. Who wants to fire some questions? Fire some questions. Go, 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 go. I'm joking. Yeah, the funny thing is there's always a bit of a delay behind everything. Okay, I'm gonna do one last one. Let me think. Been sitting here for a while. I just realized how delayed this thing is. I'm gonna play a song. I had a request here. I haven't played this in a while too. Song called Fascinating Rhythm. So I'm gonna sign off with this old school, one of my favorite. I did this for an inter-house competition in school. It's called Fascinating Rhythm. It's by George Gershwin. Very, very good song. I don't know if Ira Gershwin also wrote this. Maybe she wrote the lyrics. I don't know. I really like the song. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any further questions, write them on the comments if you've been watching. If you haven't followed, liked, I don't know, whatever. If you haven't done any of that stuff on my Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram page, please do that. Please do so. And we'll catch up again soon.